Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. Do JMA Friday for today's second video. So as always on a Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with Japanese and CFS V2 miles. I shall get on with it for you very shortly. Just to say that the first video really say was our nice little 7 AM upload, just having a look at weather next 2 or 3 days. In detail. And I've got 10 to 14 day coming up for you later on this afternoon as well. That will include all of the regular features. If you're enjoying the content on the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so we're going to begin with the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly forecast from the JMA from the North Pole view down. So, of course, this is the North Pole of the Northern Hemisphere just here. The wider Arctic Circle is around there. They've got the mid-latitudes around here. So, blue is extrapolating to below average heights, which is low pressure, yellow, orange, and red, to above average heights, which is high pressure. These are broken down into weekly periods. The first week period is going to take us from today, the 30th of April, through to the 7th of May. The coming week will be unsettled with below average heights, low pressure in off the Atlantic, quite a deep area of low pressure in off the Atlantic. Quite a strong jet stream as well coming from the Atlantic into Northern Europe. It's in combination with blocking around Greenland too, so that's sending the jet stream southwards, and it looks very cool and unsettled for week 1 to start us off. Any improvement for week 2? Let's have a look. This takes us from the 7th through to the 14th of May. So still unsettled with this, still with below average heights, low pressure to our north. Higher pressure is developing to the south. We are getting some ridging developing across western and southern parts of Europe, but I think we still have a pretty strong jet stream here coming across the Atlantic. So I'd imagine it's still quite unsettled, particularly so for northern and western areas, but even down in the south, I think that could be still rather unsettled despite the above average heights building across continental Europe. Excuse me, and then weeks 3 and 4 will take us from the 14th through to 28th of May, and this one looks unsettled again with below average heights, low pressure over and to the north of the country, income that westerly flow as well. So yeah, it's an unsettled May coming up if this is right. That's a 2-week anomaly as well, so it is quite a strong signal. Normally the 2-week anomaly is a little bit more, is a little bit weaker, but this week that's quite a strong signal for weeks 3 and 4 to continue with the unsettled theme. It does look as though like southern Europe will have quite a bit of high pressure down there, but going further northwards, it looks like an unsettled May to come. Let's confirm this with the tropical and mid-latitude view and in terms of temperature and precipitation anomalies. So the UK is in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it, and again a reminder of the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly with the low pressure in from the Atlantic into the UK and much of northern Europe in the week ahead from the 30th of April to the 7th of May. So temperature anomalies in the week ahead are going to be below average. It's a colder than average week coming up with below average temperatures. And it's also wetter than average as well. So a cool, wet week is being signalled here by the JMA for week 1. Very unsettled for the week ahead. Go through to week 2, which is the 7th through to the 14th of May, and it is still looking unsettled. Again, low pressure is in off the Atlantic into Europe. High pressure down towards Spain. Incomes that westerly jet stream. It's a little bit milder. We're pulling the wind up from a slightly more southerly direction in the Atlantic. So temperatures are picking up. They're staging a recovery. Many parts of Europe are turning milder as well, and warmer under that ridge of high pressure. But for us, it is still quite unsettled, actually, in week 2. So still above average rainfall predicted. And then weeks 3 and 4, of course, we just have that area of low pressure centred just to our north, income the westerlies again. So it looks like it's another unsettled couple of weeks. Temperature anomalies again a little bit above average. So we do get a recovery in the temperature through May. It starts off quite cold, but we do get a recovery there. But it stays unsettled, and the precipitation anomaly for weeks 3 and 4 still generally above average, and more particularly so for northern and western areas. So quite an unsettled May being signalled here with the JMA. Right, let's see how the CFS V2 compares. So again, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 30th of April to the 6th of May. The coming week is unsettled again with low pressure across northern and western Europe combined with high pressure up towards Greenland, blocking things out, sending the jet stream southwards and pulling in very chilly sort of northerly winds. So cool and unsettled in the week ahead. Week 2 keeps it cool and unsettled as well, or keeps it unsettled, maybe a little bit warmer actually. It's the 7th to the 13th of May. Again, lots of below average heights in the North Atlantic and across northern parts of Europe. Above average heights, though, building to the south. And that sort of pulls up wind a little bit more from a southwesterly direction. So we begin to see a slight recovery in the temperature starting to take place, but would still be unsettled as the low pressure heads in off the Atlantic. Week 3 is the 14th to the 20th of May with above average heights just to our south-southeast, and that starts to pull up wind from more of a southwesterly direction. So probably this begins to settle things down through the middle part of May. Lower pressure is being pushed off up towards Greenland, Iceland, along with jet stream as well. So you would expect this to be starting to turn things drier and warmer then as we head into the middle part of May. And this looks potentially very warm actually. This is the 21st to 27th of May. Area of high pressure then centred across western and central Europe, which in theory should be pulling up like quite a hot southerly type flow probably. So definitely the second half of May looking a lot warmer with the a lot warmer and drier with the CFS compared to the JMA. Let's have a look at the temperature anomalies. So this is the week 1 temperature anomaly from the 30th of April, 6th of May, significantly colder than average in those deep blue colours there, which is taking the anomaly to 3 degrees or more below average. Week 2 is also significantly cold. Average is the 7th to the 13th of May. Not as cold as it is in week 1, but nevertheless it's still substantially below average. Week 3 is also below average with the temperature anomaly 14th, 20th of May. That's coming out with below average temperatures again. And week 4 is actually cooler than average, which I'm a little bit surprised about. I would have thought that should be quite a warmish week there, but the model is still going for rather cooler than average temperatures, if anything. Notice most parts of Europe are turning a lot warmer, though, quite hot across many parts of Europe, like 1-2 degrees above average. I think the CFA has been a little bit pessimistic with the temperature there for us. I would have thought that like that anomaly should be pulling up wind from a southerly direction. So I would have thought that would be significantly warmer than that suggests for week 4. But of course, it's 4 weeks away, so it's not really worth worrying about. And finally, precipitation knowledge from the CFS from the 30th of April, 6th of May. Wetter than average week coming up. Week 2, 7th to the 13th of May is also wetter than average, above average rainfall for weeks 1 and 2. Week 3, average to slightly drier than average from the 14th to the 20th of May. And then no real signal when we get through to week 4, which is the 21st, 27th of May. No particular signal by that point. We're too far out. So, I mean, it looks like we're in for a very chilly, wet, cold, unsettled start to May, definitely. So next week is going to be unsettled. There'll be bouts of rain, and potentially is really going to be struggling as well. As we go further on through May, we could start to see something a little bit drier and warmer occurring. Although Mars are a little bit split on that. It's very inconclusive. It's just a possibility at the moment that middle and second half of May might get a recovery in the temperature, but it's no more than that at this stage. So I think we have to wait and see about that. But definitely, May overall, it looks like it's shaping up to be quite an unsettled month based on JMA Friday today. Right, so we'll do it all over again next week. Just a snapshot of what the models are showing. So they could look very different next week. Any forecast beyond 5-7 days, beyond 5-7 days comes with big health warnings. We'll be back later on with your 10 to 14 day. That will include all regular features, so check that out later on. The ECMWF 42-day forecast, by the way, is going to be tomorrow morning after the 7 a.m. upload. So we'll be back later on with your 10 to 14 day for JMA Friday, though. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.